Ange, Rob and Robbo.
Streaming live across the globe, Angeli Rao, Rob McKnight and David Robinson.
Ange, Rob and Robbo. News and views, entertainment too. It's the Ange, Rob and Robbo. Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Oh, are you just like me? It's freezing. This is a live shot here in the Gold Coast at the moment. Oh my God. No wonder Ange and Robbo haven't turned up. Who's joining us tonight? Oh, it's none other than Jason Roses and Sarah Monahan. Sarah, you look a bit warmer in Florida, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 30 degrees today.
So, Jason, are you feeling the cold? It's currently 6 degrees in Canberra at the moment.
Canberra is ridiculous. I'm literally stuck in a shed with no heating. So, yes, I am very cold. That's why I'm wearing a jumper.
You'll have to talk. You'll have to talk and get your body moving. It's 8 degrees currently in Sydney. Melbourne is 12 degrees and Brisbane is 11 degrees. So that is not the real shot. We'll go back to the normal shot, Amanda, with a bit of magic. There you go. We're back to normal. Hey, we've got it all here at the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show, or the Sarah, Rob and Jason Show as it is tonight. Sarah, as always, I'm always so grateful when you join us because it's not even 6 o'clock there, or is it 6 o'clock now?
It's, I think hang on, it's like 6:06. And the sun's supposed to rise at 6:36, so we should be able to see boats behind me as the sun comes up. So you can feel the warmth of Florida.
And I don't know if we've talked about this, but you actually live on that boat, don't you?
I do. And I don't know if you can see the squishy little face behind me. But there's my dog.
What an amazing
decided
boat.
to join me outside this morning. Yeah, it doesn't suck.
That dog, let me tell you, Sarah and I do a podcast each week together called TV Black Box. And since she's had that pup, oh my God, it's taken over her life and the show in a way, hasn't it, Sarah?
Yeah, he's very interactive, and he's still a puppy, and he knows he's mine, and he has great separation anxiety if I'm gone. So he's on camera a lot.
Let's find out who was our first social media user, and they picked up on the fact we were late tonight. Yes, there's a story about that, but we're not going to tell you. It's part of our secretness. But it was Amanda Stilby who had, "Hi there, looking forward to the show." So we, Amanda, and thank you for sticking with us for tonight's edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. A lot coming up. Jo is here with her film review. Jason will have entertainment, and we're going to meet a few celebrities along the way, as we always do. And of course, Bruno will also join us at the end of the show. But first, let's get into our hot button issues of the week. And a couple who fled the Melbourne lockdown and drove to Queensland are both confirmed to be COVID-19 positive. As you can imagine, this story has been leading every news bulletin up here in Queensland, from 10 News, ABC, there's 7 News and 9 News. In fact, here's how 9 News reported the developing news last night.
We now have a positive case in Caloundra.
A 44-year-old and a partner apparently breaking all the rules, fleeing the Melbourne lockdown on June 1, driving through Victoria and New South Wales before resettling in Caloundra with family last Saturday.
She has been out and about in the Sunshine Coast since she arrived.
The race is on to contain any further outbreak. Sunshine Coast residents are being urged to be tested. Clinics will be open longer. Private pathologists will also be brought in.
We have been here before, we know what to do.
The woman's being interviewed. There are questions about how they slipped into Queensland, what they said on their border declaration.
Now, it has since been confirmed the couple did not have an exemption to enter Queensland. Sarah, I've got to ask you, should these people be named and shamed?
It's dicey because if you do name and shame people, it's going to stop other people from getting tested and doing things.
Or it's going to stop other people from doing the wrong thing, perhaps.
Yeah, part of me wants to name and shame people, but part of me also thinks COVID's going to be part of life now, and people need to just kind of accept that. I mean, living in the US where it's like you don't hear, oh, there's a case of COVID. It's like everybody has it. And so to me, it's always still like, oh my God, you're like making news about one person. And so I think, they did a really bad thing. Did they know that they were positive when they fled the state?
No. But that's beside the point. We had lockdown laws. They went through regional Victoria, through regional New South Wales, regional Queensland, so that they wouldn't get picked up on the Gold Coast border where we're doing random checks. These people evaded the law. They knew they were doing the wrong thing. As far as I'm concerned, if just one person dies from their actions, then they are murderers who should go to jail, Jason.
Look, absolutely they did the wrong thing. Should they be named and shamed? Absolutely, because, I mean, there are rules in place. COVID is so serious and people are dying from it. And like you've pointed out, Rob, they've gone through these country towns to evade authorities, to go and spend it with their family. And as far as I'm concerned, governments should be making an example of people that decide to break the law for what is such a serious issue. And the fact that they had COVID is even so much worse. This is why we have rules in place. This is why we have lockdown. And this is why you absolutely should be listening to the state government, to the federal government. If there is a lockdown law in place, it's for a bloody good reason. And, to this couple, absolutely shame on you. You could have infected people. People could die from this. Wake up to yourselves. This is such a serious, condition, a disease that's at the moment it's gripping the world. Listen to the rules that are set in place. Rules aren't made to be broken, not for something so serious.
Sarah, I understand what you're saying about the number of cases, but that is a real different issue to what we're talking about here. People broke the law. They did the wrong
if they're
thing.
fully evading, going through all the backwaters, criminals, then yes.
They are. They're secretly driving through the country.
But I keep seeing people that are named and shamed who recently, take their own life or do something terrible. So I'm always hesitant now to name and shame people because of the repercussions of what they might.
But then we won't put people in jail anymore because they might hang themselves in their jail cell. People have to take responsibility.
There's a certain segment of Australia that they don't. But in Australia, they don't like putting Aboriginals in jail anymore because, deaths in custody. So,
again,
is it a valid thing or not?
I do think that's a different issue because we do have a systemic problem with deaths in custody when it comes to Indigenous Australians, and there is a level of racism involved with that. So I do think we have to park that because there is a higher rate of potential death. Sorry, Sarah?
Can you just give the people a ticket, maybe some jail time or whatever? But, we have suppression laws in Australia for so many other things. Is it okay to name and shame people because they broke the COVID rules?
Look, if it
you have
becomes
to
a
make
court-
an example. You have to make an example. You have to set an example, the tone for the rest of the country to follow. And, there needs to be harsh punishment in place. As far as I looked at a statistic the other day and, it's over 3 million people have died. We're talking staggering numbers. This is something so serious that there needs to be very tough rules in place to stop people from doing this again and not thinking, I'm just going to get in the back of the car and drive to all these towns and try and play clever bugger. This is why we have lockdown, and you had COVID and you've gone and potentially infected others.
I will say this. I can be convinced on the not naming and shaming. Give them a fine.
Yeah.
But if one person dies, they need to be held accountable on manslaughter charges.
Agreed.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Don't you just love karma? Well, karma has hit a bunch of homophobic boaters who started harassing a family who had a pride flag on their boat. And as you'll see, the haters stuck their fingers up, sprayed water and kept harassing the family. But the reason I've got a smile on my face is because that's when they experienced a case of instant karma.
Karma hits boaters who harassed and spun circles around our boat after they saw our pride flags.
Oh, geez. So what's happened here is they've stuck their fingers up, they've sprayed water at them, they've really harassed these people with the pride flag. And then moments later, their boat has caught on fire. They've had to evacuate. But get this, the bullies were saved by the people on the boat and then didn't even say thanks for saving them. Get that. Now,
and in the second video, she just screams and wails and cries the whole time. It's really annoying.
Yes, but let me ask you this. Here's a curly one for you, Jason. All right, they've done all these things. You're on this boat. You're being harassed. Could be over homophobic rants. It could be, them just racism. Anything.
Whatever.
Let's just say they're just being assholes. Their boat catches on fire. Do you save them?
Oh, it's such, because I love karma and, particularly if someone tries to do something bad to me and karma gets back to them in an okay way, not in a too serious way. Like, you don't want anyone sort of dying or being harmed. But would I say, if they could swim to shore, I'd let them swim, but I would be watchful because you don't want anyone harmed in the process. But, I'd let them flap around a little bit, let them sort of, bob up and down. And then when I feel like it, and as long as they're safe, then I'll go pull them out of the water because, again, it's karma on yourself if you just leave them in the water. Sometime down the track, you'll get bad karma. So, yes, I would go save them because I'm just a nice guy.
Here's what I would be doing, Sarah. I would be taking my boat close to them, and as soon as they reached out, I'd be going, vroom, and then I'd scream to them, God loves fags, bitch.
So it's actually Pride Month here, and it's Pride Month in the States, and so I live in Key West, which is like they literally take a pride flag normally from one side of the island to the other down the main street in Duval. Yep. Every night there's like amazing like parties and stuff. I went to the hairdresser and I'm like, hey, can I get my head cut? And they gave me the full pride special. So
I love that.
Okay. And I live on a boat. So the thing about the water is you should always be nice to everybody because you don't know when your boat's going to catch on fire and you're going to need to be rescued. And I've done water safety courses to work on a yacht, so I have an actual certification that kind of requires me to save people. But I think it's also really good that they saved them because maybe next time they'll think twice about harassing somebody. Like they were just, she was a babbling drunk bitch. But maybe at some point she'll wake up and go, oh my God, the people that we harassed are the people that saved our lives. So maybe next time she sees a pride flag, she'll walk over and hug them instead of giving them.
No, I think by saving them, the lesson for them is do what you want, say what you want. Some goody two-shoes will still save me. No, they need to be taught a lesson. And if they can't swim, they should have been wearing life vests anyway. They can float in the water until the authorities come. I ain't helping you. Sorry. I just think people get away with too much shit.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? The fact that they didn't say thank you, like that's the part that angers me the most. Like, okay, you've gone and mocked and been mean, and then you need to be saved. They've gone and saved you. And then you're still that bitter and twisted that you're not going to go say thank you. I say push them back in the water and let them swim to shore.
Oh, now you've changed.
Yeah,
Always be
see,
the better
now
person.
I've changed.
Always be the bigger person.
Yeah, I would have pushed them back in. If I went to shore and they didn't say thank you, I would have gone back out to the middle of the lake, pushed them back in and said swim to shore. Yeah, I've changed.
Oh, I love how you can turn, Jason.
And he was so responsible too, because
Ooh.
I watched the video where he pulls up, he comes up to them and he lets them know, look, I've turned off the motors, you're safe, come on in. Like, the one guy was a really, really responsible boater and the other people were just douchebags. And sometimes you just have to be the better person and know that you're doing the right thing, even if someone else is being a CUNT.
Whoa,
Can I say
whoa! We don't. Whoa!
You know what?
A country bumpkin. I think Sarah's on the jungle juice too early.
No, gosh, I'm surprised you know what jungle juice is, Rob. But I'm going to wish bad karma. I'm going to wish bad karma on those people that didn't say thank you, and that one day they will all be drunk and they're going to wake up next to a same-sex person in bed. That's their karma.
This has turned. All right, let's move
They
on.
actually owned that boat that blew up and not just that they were renting it.
Oh, I hope they
True.
weren't renting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Don't
That would be
want
very
rent.
sad. All right, let's move on because Victorian Premier Dan Andrews is under fire on a number of fronts this evening and this week, even though he's currently on sick leave. It's been revealed the Labor leader has been earning $1,209 a day for almost 100 days while on sick leave for an accident that had nothing to do with his job. Meanwhile, a conspiracy theory is doing the rounds on the circumstances surrounding his accident. Victoria's Shadow Treasurer, Louise Staley, is leading the charge, hinting there may be a cover-up. She sent out a list of 12 questions she demanded the Premier answer, including the time the ambulance was called and whether police have interviewed him. Sarah, look, there are a number of issues here. People are annoyed. He's being paid while on sick leave. We need to point out, in the Parliament, you are paid for your position, not for the number of days you work. There isn't a limit on sick leave for these parliamentarians. But do you think he should give up his wage during this period?
I mean, if he got sick from like cancer or something, would he have to? I mean, I don't know. That's a hard one.
And
I
you
don't know
also
where to go with that
know,
one.
you also know he's still getting briefings. He's still going to be across things, just not the minutiae and the detail that he would when he's working. I don't actually
most
have.
people still work these days, even if they're not in the office. So,
Yes.
I mean, he's probably still doing
Yeah.
stuff. He's just not in the building. So, I mean, yeah, let him keep getting paid.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I don't overly have an issue on the wage front. That's his wage. He, did anyone say when he was working all those days straight, doing those media conferences, that we should give him more money? No, they didn't. It's the yin and yang,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I would say here is that it's funny. Stephen Brooke, who I really respect and has worked with, and he works at The Age, he put out a tweet. The ambulance released a statement about what had happened, and he said, why are we only finding out these details 91 days later? And I said to him, did we need to know them? The guy had an accident. He was taken to hospital. He's recovering. Why do we need to know what time the ambulance was called, whether they thought it was a level 1 or a level 2?
Don't people have some kind of right to health privacy? I mean,
Well,
there's
that's
laws
it.
in the US,
Yeah.
like HIPAA.
Yeah, but
like if I
I
have
think
an
you can't-
incident, I don't think that you really need to know every intimate detail of every part of my life, even if I am being paid by the government purse.
Yeah, but I think when you're in a position of public profile, unfortunately, that's just part of your life. Professionally, personally, you can't escape it. Kind of like, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It's in my view, it's part of the job. So, unfortunately, that's just another aspect. And I do think it's valid reasons. People want to know actually what has happened. And if you have such a public profile, you're in government, you are the head of a state, then I think it's questions that people deserve, the answers to.
But this is conspiracy theory stuff.
balance.
This is the opposition just trying to get a headline and make a noise and try, what was he doing? What, was he snorting coke up a ladder and fell?
But
what are
what
they
if he
trying
was
to
drunk
I don't
driving
even know
and
what they're
crashed?
trying to
But what if he-
imply.
Yeah, but Rob, what if it was drunk driving and crashed his car and they're trying to cover it up? I mean, I think this is why there needs to be a level of accountability, particularly if you're in the media, whether you're a judge or a politician. Like, we want to know what happened because, you know, if you've done something, and I'm not suggesting he's done anything illegal, but if he had, we have a right to know.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you can
sure,
say,
if
someone
it's a
had
drunk-
an accident, it happened on this day, but you don't need to know the exact minute that the ambulance was called. I mean, there's a balance between some information and having every single detail, which really, frankly, is nobody's business. And, like, I don't care to know, like, every single detail. Just give me the broad overview.
I will say, Jason, that if...
I want to know what he ate in the ambulance. I'm really wanting to know, like, what he drank. Was it juice or was it apple juice?
Well, apple juice is juice, but anyway. I think you raise a valid point that if there was a drink driving incident or anything like that, then yes, that is worthy of a story. But produce evidence. If you really think there is something like that, produce evidence rather than demanding 12 questions that he answer. And if he doesn't answer them all, he's trying to hide something. That is the classic, like saying, you know, Jason Roses has sex with snakes. And then you have to come out.
God. You know my secret.
But this is a great thing.
Snakes.
You can't
Big
accuse
snakes.
Jason Roses of Jason Roses doesn't have sex with snakes. No, but I want to hear him deny the fact that he has sex with snakes. So you have to come out and
Rob,
say, I don't have sex with snakes. Headline is, Jason Roses denies having sex with snakes. You know, it's the...
But Rob, I can't deny that. I know a lot of big snakes. I've seen a lot of big snakes. I don't know. I'm like a zookeeper. You know, there's just animals everywhere.
It wasn't a metaphor. All right, let's move on. Because do you have a favourite theme park you went to as a kid that no longer exists? Whether it was Wobbles World in Melbourne, Wonderland in Sydney, Dazzleland in Adelaide, or Magic Mountain in Queensland, there are plenty of parks which didn't stand the test of time. But now one is set to make a comeback. The new owners of Fantasy Glades Kids Fun Park in Port Macquarie are planning to convert the site into a high-end holiday park with many of the old buildings and installations preserved and refurbished. I've got to say, personally, I loved going to Fantasy Glades back in the day. My grandmother lived up in Kempsey. My dad would take me here to Fantasy Glades all the time, would take the kids down to Port Macquarie, we'd go to it. And when I look at this footage from the Leyland brothers, it really wasn't a great theme park. But I loved it. I loved it so much. Jason, is there a place you loved going as a kid that no longer exists?
Oh, Wonderland. I mean, I love water parks. I love theme parks. I used to go to Wonderland in Sydney.
Wonderland.
And, you know, I know. I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to Disneyland. I'm a kid at heart, so I love theme parks, and I don't think there's enough of them. I mean, I think kids are now too in technology. Like, I love a good ride or a train or a roller coaster or just something fun. Like, you know, there's all you do now is you eat and you go to bars and it's just boring. Bring back the theme parks for adults as well, because I don't want to be the creepy old guy sitting on the teacup ride next to like 5-year-olds. I want to go on the adult ride with everyone else.
You might need to come and live on the Gold Coast, because we've got Movie World, Dream World, Sea World, Outback Adventure,
Yes.
Wet and Wild, whitewater rafting. We've got
Rob, if you remember, I lived in Dream World for about 2 months.
You did, but that ride no longer exists.
No, it no longer. Not it yet. No, it doesn't.
Sarah, I've got to say, there was this place in New Jersey in the US called Action Park. I love this story. This was so dangerous. 6 people
they made a
actually.
movie about this.
Yeah, 6 people died there.
Yeah.
It opened in 1978, and people would regularly break bones, lose teeth, go home bleeding. But it was because of the danger that people were actually drawn to it. It became known as a place for dead. Look, this water slide, you actually do a loop. The place eventually went bankrupt because of all the lawsuits. But it's hard to imagine. Look at this. No, you got to get down to the bottom before someone else comes. These things didn't even have brakes on them most of the time.
Gosh.
Isn't it amazing what they could get away with back then, Sarah?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jersey's the mafia, so they could do whatever they wanted. But there is a movie about that, and it is a really, really good movie. I would highly recommend it. But in Australia, there also used to be. I had a season pass to Wonderland, and then I also used to love as a kid Old Sydney Town, which is gone. But that was theatrical and it was educational. Oh, it was so good. You get to see people flogging everyone, and all the colonialism and all the things that we're not allowed to talk about anymore. But no, it was a really fun park, and I wish that they would bring that one back because it made for real. Like if you had to go on a school excursion, Old Sydney Town was at least a fun one.
I just have these visions of Aussie kids yelling as they're doing the flogging at Old Sydney Town. Yeah, flog!
It was actually a good park because everyone's dressed up in the old-timey stuff, and it was fun. I liked it.
Well, let us know what theme parks you miss. There's been plenty of them around over the years, and there is. It's a shame they've gone. Wonderland, I miss. I used to love Australia's Wonderland at Sydney.
Wonderland was one of the best. I used to love going there as a kid. And there was talks about bringing it back, but I just don't think it got off the ground.
I thought that they were going to bring it back.
Well,
yeah, that's I thought.
I think the land's being used for other development now, and while it's in a great location with the freeway there, back in the day you used to have to travel lots of back roads to get to it. But time moves on.
Like we had a yearly pass, and it was a long way, so we didn't go that much.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Plenty ahead in this edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. Joe Casamento's just around the corner, and Bruno will be joining us at the end of the show to talk about who knows what. We just let him do his own thing. But first, with over 1 million views and 200,000 fans across social media, you're bound to have seen our next guest's videos. And now Ibby is hitting the road for his debut comedy stage tour, I Am. Take a look.
Hey guys, I'm going on tour for my first ever stand-up show. It's gonna be insane. What? What are you trying to say? No, bro. Look, just tell them it's gonna be hectic, yeah? Yeah, they know it's gonna be good. That's what I'm trying to tell them. Nah, but look, bro, tell them everyone's gonna be there, bro. Like the boys, 10 out of 10 glunners. We're gonna have a laugh, yeah? Yeah, I'm trying to tell them, but you keep interrupting me. Brother, if you keep being smart like that, there won't even be a show to go to, yeah? You know how dangerous I am. Get your tickets ASAP. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Look, we are meeting one of the biggest up-and-comers in the Australian comedy circuit. Ibby, welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Look, it's so good to have you here. The response to this tour has been phenomenal. You're constantly having to add dates because you're selling out these huge theatres. But it's your debut tour. Is it nerve-wracking that your success on social media, you mustn't have thought it would translate to ticket sales the way it has?
Honestly, Rob, I did. Very confident, mate.
Of course you did. I like a man who believes in himself.
It's been amazing. The response has been more than incredible. I can't actually put into words how grateful I am. And like you said, for so long I've been doing it on social media. I've been doing it constantly, week in, week out, week in, week out. And now that I've announced this show, everyone's getting on board. We started with 2 shows, and now we've jumped up to 10 shows nationally. So it's been amazing.
Well, mate, it's interesting because you're very popular on social media, but most of your videos are quite short. They're around a minute or less. How has the process been transforming those into an hour-long show?
The thing is, Rob, I can talk a lot. I can talk for days. I don't know if it's a burden or a gift. I don't know what it is, but it's been somewhat of something that I've needed to adjust to, because like you said, the videos have been a minute, 2 minutes at max, and now I'm going to do a show where I'm talking on stage for an hour. So it's definitely something that I need to adjust to, but I've been preparing for this for years. Like ever since I've been a little kid, I've been imagining myself on stage. I've been doing little things with my friends all the time. So this has been a long process, but I'm ready for it. I'm definitely ready for it. And even if I'm not ready for it, I'm going to tell everyone I'm ready for it.
Well, you know what? I'm a big supporter of up-and-comers especially. And I feel, I don't mean to be condescending when I say up-and-comer, because you've got a lot of success on social media. But what I'm really talking about is the success as a comedian on stage, getting people to pay for tickets, which is a huge thing. Do you worry about that next step? And how do you get that next step? Because you've got to get someone to believe in you and your product.
Look, exactly right. It's something that online success is one thing, because people can just watch a video, they can laugh about it, they can tag their mates, they can do whatever, but then translating that over to people spending actual money to come and see me live on stage, it's a whole other story. But I'm lucky I've surrounded myself with really good people, a really good team. The Our Group have been amazing with them believing in me from the start and saying, hey, you're doing great online, but let's take it to the next stage now. Let's actually take it to the theaters, to the people, and do something a little bit different. So it's been something that I knew for a long time I wanted to do, but it was that the nerves were there always for me to be like, is this something that I can do? Is this something that's going to be a success? And the proof's in the pudding, man, or the proof's in the soup, whatever you want to call it. The proof's there.
And mate, your comedy includes a lot of social commentary, particularly about your culture. Do you worry in a world of political correctness and cancel culture that comedy like yours is a dying art form? Because there's always someone who gets offended that wants to cancel somebody else.
That's the thing, like in this day and age, and it's a hard thing being a comic and being a comedian, that everything that you say, someone could be offended by it. But for every one person that gets offended by it, 10 people will find it funny. So I'm not going to dull my light in the sense of what my comedy is, because first and foremost, I'm making fun of myself. If I can't have a laugh about it myself first, then I can't make fun of other people and have a laugh about them. It's something that I'm always conscious of. I always make sure that I'm not doing too much in the sense of political incorrectness, because I could be cancelled tomorrow. Everyone looks for an excuse just to cancel me. Someone could look at my beard and say, it's a bit uneven, let's get him cancelled. So this day and age, it's a bit hard to have that comedy aspect, to say what you want to say. But again, I am going to say what I want to say, because that's my comedy, man. I take the piss out of every situation, so I'm going to make sure I do it.
Love it. I have to say, earlier today, I was showing our producer one of your videos, one of my favourite videos. It was the one where you're in one car talking to a guy in the other car. And the language breakdown in the same culture, it's actually really fascinating, the way people turn their back on culture and then the offence taken. But my favourite moment, and it's such a subtle thing, if this door wasn't locked and the door open. See, it's not even a big deal. It was just this little joke that you threw in there, and it is actually hilarious when you do things like that. I think there are great things ahead for you, and tickets for these shows are going very quickly. Honestly, you've added so many dates, but you've already sold out some dates in Sydney and Melbourne, and the rest are being snapped up very quickly. Please go and see Ibby live on his I Am tour. Head to ibbyakbar.com/tour. I'm going to say that again. ibbyakbar.com/tour, and that's IBBYAKBAR.com, because this is going to be a great show. Ibby, thank you so much for being on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show tonight.
Legend, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Sarah, isn't he a nice guy?
I've actually watched his videos and he's quite funny.
Yeah, well, he is really funny. Oh, what's Jason up to there? He is very funny. I really think his show would be worth going to, I've got to say. There's Jason. I know what you were doing, Jason, getting ready for our next bit, because coming up, our good friend Jo Casamento is just around the corner with her weekly film review, but also ahead on tonight's edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. He burst onto our screens as Aidan Jeffries on Home and Away almost 2 decades ago. But now Todd Lasance has taken Hollywood by storm. We'll find out the secrets to his success when he joins us. And it was the most controversial eviction this season. Now Big Brother's Mary will join us to spill the dirt on what really happened inside the famous house. Plus, Bruno will be here as we go down the rabbit hole with the one and only Liz King. And Jason, what's ahead in your entertainment report?
Channel 9 pulls the pin on its biggest drama, and we'll find out why Doctor has been axed. And Samantha Armitage reveals her plans to return to television following her shocked resignation from Sunrise. Carl Sandilands gets the biggest bagging of his life live on air and right to his face. And the sex secrets, I didn't even know there were sex secrets, of the Sunrise cash cow is revealed? All of that and plenty more on tonight's Entertainment Report.
Thank you very much, Jason. Okay, what's coming up now? All right, in a moment. Jason, are you okay?
I am fine.
What happened? Okay, shall we spill the tea on what really happened? I told you very last minute that you had to do a script there. You were trying to get it into your auto cue. I threw you under the bus, but you handled it with such aplomb.
Like a queen with just delicate and grace. And it was just, oh my God, it was just all over the shop. I'm a mess. I'm a complete mess, but I'm here.
You are, and you're fabulous, but we'll move on now. Well, okay, now it's time to find out what is happening in the world of movies with the lovely Joe Casamento. Joe, get on in here. How are you, my lovely?
Hello, I'm well. How are we tonight, Rob? All good?
Very good, Joe. I see you've got your Tipsy Thursday drink. What are you drinking tonight?
I've got a simple rosé. Actually, it's not quite the night for it. It's freezing here. I need a mulled wine or something. It's actually cold in Sydney.
Amanda loves a mulled wine. Like, seriously, you two could get together and get on the mulled wines, although that could be dangerous for me if you guys are telling stories. But anyway, let's get on to the topic at hand, because I'm very excited about this. We've got some new information on Jurassic World Domination today.
We do, that's right, Rob. In the US, at the IMAX screenings of the new Fast and Furious movie, there's an exclusive 5-minute preview into the movie. While the preview isn't available online, but lucky for us, some people have been sharing what is going on in the Jurassic World, and possibly most exciting of all, I think, is a look at this new feathered dinosaur species. There are going to be 7 new species in Jurassic World, yes, Dominion, that haven't been in any of the other films in the franchise. Sam Neill shared this poster teasing the preview, and many have been left wondering just how much he and Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern were going to be in this film, as they had just had a cameo in the last one. But rest assured, the director Colin Trevorrow has spoken out and said they are major characters and they go on an adventure together and they collide with our modern characters. It's a celebration of everything that Michael Crichton created and what Stephen created and what the other directors have contributed to this over the years. So it will be set in the present day, 4 years after the events of Fallen Kingdom. So it's definitely one to look forward to. And I know fans are worried how they're going to mix the old cast members and the new cast members, but it sounds like it's going to be some fantastic script and really original.
Wow, that actually looks like one to look forward to, and it'll be interesting to see how they come together.
100%.
So what movie did you see this week, Joe? I'm always intrigued by your viewing choices.
Well, I did and I have to say I went for popular opinion. For the audience out there, I was going to do a New Zealand film, but I might do that on a slow week. I decided to see Dream Horse, which is inspired by the true story of a racehorse bred by a small town bartender in Wales. It actually stars our very own Tony Collette and Damian Lewis. Let's have a look at the trailer and then I'll give you my thoughts.
1683, please. £32.28, please. I need something to look forward to when I get up in the morning. I'm going to breed a racehorse.
Absolute madness. It's normally wealthy professionals who go in for this kind of thing.
There's ways of doing these things, isn't there? 20 people in the village put in a tenner a week for 2 years.
When the horse is born, everyone will be owners.
Oh, God, he's gorgeous, isn't he?
He needs a name.
What about Dream Alliance? Is our dream, and we're all in it together, so Dream Alliance.
Dream Alliance!
Dream Alliance!
When you were little. Remember, there's a less than 1% chance this horse will ever win a race. And he's pretty rough around the edges.
Come on, lad.
Governor? He's definitely got something about him. Spirit. Character. Like his own.
The horse from nowhere has captured the hearts of the nation.
We lost our jobs, our community, even our pride. And then Dream came along and reminded us what life is like when you are old.
I love her accent, Joe. Love an Irish accent that I can't do.
You're actually doing quite a good job. I gotta say.
To be sure.
To be sure. It's actually Welsh, but it's fantastic. So close. I've got to say, Toni Collette's accent in this really is fantastic. It is spot on. She absolutely nails it. And look, who isn't a sucker for an underdog? This is shamelessly predictable, can I tell you? There is nothing in this film you haven't seen before. We've seen it all, in Far Lap and Girls Can't Ride and all those films. But what it lacks in originality, it actually makes up for in sincerity. And it's got that typical British, feel-good movie, that Britcom sort of thing going. It's probably Tony's actually performance that elevates it, I've got to say. It's warm, well-paced and very satisfying. You won't be disappointed if you take the family along. It's PG, so you can definitely take the kids along. And I've got to say, while it's a little bit cheesy and formulaic, it is a crowd pleaser. So I'm going to give it 3.5 Chop Talks.
Okay, interesting from you. It sort of seems to have a feel of Waking Ned Divine.
It does. It's very similar. I actually thought it was a bit like Brassed Off. Did you see that one? That British,
No.
where the whole town... Oh, you never saw that one?
No.
Similar feeling about the mines where there's a whole town comes together. They're all poor. They're all, got these sort of miserable lives and they join together and have this wonderful journey. So it does pull at the heartstrings. And
Is
if you've got
Brassed Off
something
one we should all be watching?
It's an old one. It's probably about 20 years old, but it is definitely one of my favourite movies of all time. So, yes, I would say have a look at Brassed Off if you have a chance this weekend. I'm not sure it was
recommendation, Joe. And actually,
I should actually put a list out, my recommendations.
But if you want Joe's weekly recommendations, you should listen to her on the TV Binge Box. We don't plug this podcast enough. Joe and Stephen Brooke from the Age, Mulk, who appears on our show from time to time, and Dan Bennett, who was a drama executive at 7 and 10, they actually all get together each week and review the shows that are out there, give their previews of upcoming shows. It's a really great podcast. Just search for TV Binge Box in your favourite podcast feed. But Joe, the big new Space Jam movie is coming out next month and another look's been released.
It has, that's right. A new Space Jam, A New Legacy is what the new one's called. It comes out on July 15 and a brand new trailer has been released, as you just said. Let's have a little look.
Welcome, King James.
I'm a cartoon? I'm shorter than Kevin Hart. No.
What's up, Doc?
Bugs, bring it here, man.
What brings you to Tonewad, Doc?
The computer dude kidnapped my son. What in the Matrix hell? What'd you do to my son?
The only way you're getting your son back is if you and I play a little basketball.
You want to play me in basketball? I need to assemble an elite team.
You need a dream team. I'll take it from here. Sam, shoot the ball. Let's try that again, shall we?
We'll get your son back. I promise.
What's happening?
Up the jam.
I look expensive.
Yo, King, you're about to lose your family.
Got the world in my hand.
Everything you love.
Well, at least we're good.
Oh, and I almost forgot. All of the tunes will be deleted, so...
Come on, guys. The Toon Squad doesn't give up.
If we're going out loony.
Up the jam.
What are your thoughts, Joe?
I don't know. Look, I actually wasn't a huge fan of the original. Were you, Rob? My brothers were.
I never actually watched it because it had no interest factor for me whatsoever. Seeing that, though, I do like what they're doing by bringing the characters into 3D. That's an interesting thing.
I think it will win over a new audience. I think a younger generation will be up for it. There's also been a lot of conjecture over whether Michael Jordan, of course, is in it, and he does make an appearance, as you can see. Look, it was groundbreaking when it first came out. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, look, one for the kids, maybe not exactly. I'll be watching Loki on Disney Plus, to be honest.
I know. That came out, right? Last night,
was so lucky, Joe. I got the first 2 episodes on Monday, and I just devoured them. And but now I'm having to wait longer to get the next lot because I'm back on sync with everyone else. Amazing series. If you love Marvel, if you love the Avengers, you will love this, but you don't need to have seen every film to jump in. It actually stands by itself, doesn't it?
I can't wait because I do all the Avengers with my 16-year-old son. Mm-hmm. It's the one thing we can actually connect on, so I can't wait. We're going to do that this weekend. So
you haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for him. He's at boarding school. I'm waiting for him to come home this weekend.
That's all right. Let me tell you everything that happens. No, I would never do that.
Do you know what? Sometimes with Marvel, I need to know it 2 or 3 times and put the subtitles on. And that's
you can jump in solo to this one. Anyway, that's Loki on Disney Plus. Joe, thank you as always. I cannot wait to see you next week.
Mwah. Have a good long weekend.
It's the Random Life Shot of the Day. Where are you going today? You'll never know where you'll end up with the Random Life Shot of the Day.
So tonight we're taking you to Linlithgow in Scotland, known as the birthplace of kings and queens. The royal descendants are in for a cloudy day with a top of 20 and a bottom of 14. Let's get into some feedback now. Thinking of all of our Victorian viewers from Jan Murphy.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Oh, the lovely Sarah is back again. Welcome back, Sarah. Well, thank you, Janelle. I enjoy being back. Oh, yep, I love the puppy too, Len. He is a good boy, although I'm not sure where he ran. I think he's gone up to the bow to take a poop. Huge fan of the show, Maddie Bickle. He does poop on the bow. It's kind of scary. Aaron says, hi guys, loving the show. I'm watching from the UK. Very nice.
How good's that? Oh, Sarah, you do a
some
fabulous
international
job.
Thanks, mate. And everyone else, share your feedback. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter at the ARR Show. We're also on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok at the And Rob and Robbo. Now it's back to Rob, I think.
It is indeed. Thank you, Sarah. Well, he burst onto our screens as Aidan Jeffries on Home and Away. Can you believe? Almost 2 decades ago. But since then, Todd Lasance has taken Hollywood by storm, but he's back home for the Supernova, Comic Con and gaming in Sydney next weekend. Todd, welcome to the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
Mate, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. You got my last name right too. That's beautiful.
I was about to say, I was practicing. Did I get it right? I felt like I might have mangled it a bit.
No. That was like 95%. That's as good as I'll get. Good job. Good study.
Mate, you have done what so many Aussie actors strive to do. You've found a lot of success overseas. In fact, your latest project, Without Remorse, is just massive. You're starring alongside Michael B. Jordan. It's out on Amazon Prime. What is that whole experience like?
Honestly, mind-blowing. I mean, the phone call that I got to say that I got the role, I burst into tears. It was one of those moments where, you knew the entire planet was going for this film. The age range was fairly broad. And obviously not having had a huge amount of like film credits, it was an even longer shot. And I actually filmed the audition with my wife, who played Michael B. Jordan, in my lounge room, and she crushed it, obviously. And literally one thing led to another. Met with the director over Skype, producers cleared it, and then got the phone call, and they're like, you need to move to Germany on Monday. So we packed everything up and went to Germany. And honestly, it was one of the greatest experiences of my career, hands down. I mean, Michael B., I could give you an hour conversation about that guy. He is an absolute legend, like one of the hardest working guys I've ever met, but also selfless, grounded, inspiring, motivated, so engaging with us as well. Did all the SEAL team training with us as well. It was amazing. Yeah, the experience was incredible. And then just being part of something on that scale as well was a big step for me, you know. So, I wanted to sort of take advantage of that. And unfortunately, a few of the elements that I had in it were cut. Just bigger scenes that I was in that they removed the scenes of. So unfortunately, I lost a bit of my work in it. But, being part of it was just, priceless.
But I'm serious when I say this. A lot of actors in soapies in this country try to go for that big break in Hollywood, and obviously there's some successful stories, but there's a lot more that aren't successful. How do you make yourself stand out from the crowd as an Australian going over there trying to take American roles?
Oh, that's actually one of the best questions I've been asked.
Yes!
There's no method to it. There's so many elements at play, including luck. I mean, that's the reality. Anyone who's been successful, even at Chris's level, there had to be an element of luck involved, and he's talked about that exact thing. Right time, right age, right look, right vibe, right role. To be honest, the key is it's perseverance and determination and being able to put up with thousands of knockbacks, opportunities of extreme lows too, where you feel like you're close, something you get that could change your life. Like my biggest one to date before this was Lethal Weapon, the TV series. I got down to the final 2 for that, and had the contract in my hand, signed the deal, saw the numbers, and then you miss out on the last kick. And something like that will change your life forever, but you've got to pick yourself up. It's devastating some of the time, and you can go a year and a half without working, but you've got to have that grit. You've got to stick with it. You've got to stay focused. It's a lot, man. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't tell everyone, hey, go out and become an actor. It's fantastic and super rewarding, because you have to be extremely fortunate to, and I feel so lucky to have had the opportunities that I have. And even now, there's so much more that I want to achieve. I feel like I'm only just scratching the surface for me. So
but what a surface. I mean, you talk about how you're still making it, but you have another movie coming out, Seriously Red, with Rose Byrne. That's coming out this year, and another one, Black Sight, coming out next year. So you're busy, let's be honest, and you're getting the work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at it on paper, that is true. I mean, that's what I want to be doing. It's always funny, though. I've always had such high goals set for myself, and wanting what I want to achieve, and the levels that I want to get to. And it's not like a level as far as exposure. It's a level of being able to be in that position where you can choose your roles, get these amazing opportunities, diversify your roles, progress. You know what I mean? Like, you could take the easy route and settle on a particular simple series, which is not going to challenge me, but I also want to keep growing as an actor, and it was the likes of the Leonardo and the Matt Damons and stuff like that, Good Will Hunting, Saving Private Ryan. Those are the films that inspired me to be where I am, and that's the sort of level creatively that you want to get to. So yeah, it has been a lovely year, the last year, but again, you're still back to the drawing board all the time and auditioning, and feel like you're back to you're hustling, and you get on those big film levels, but you're starting from the bottom with them. So then you got to work your way up. So I feel like I've tiered up to a degree, but now the real work starts to get to those big leads and those big films, especially all the stuff that's coming to Australia. I'm super excited.
Well, there's lots of opportunities, but I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane, because I want to talk about that first big role we all saw you in, of course, as Aidan Jeffries on Home and Away. When you're on a hugely successful show like that, you're winning logos. And I love the Logies. I warned you, I'm terrible with words. You were there for 5 years. How hard, though, is it to make the leap and decide to leave, especially when you see a lot of people do that and not make it?
It's extremely difficult. I'm still still carrying it. I don't think you are. There you go. Wow. Wow. That is a trip. I don't even remember doing that, by the way. All I remember is seeing an elderly lady's face and someone else at another table. That's all I remember from my speech. It's a never-ending battle to diversify and come out of something that's so iconic like Home and Away. I was so fortunate that Matt Saville, who was the director of Cloud Street, which was a series that I did just after Home and Away, I just remembered I got nominated for that too, and I think that sort of helped me elevate out of the soap world, because it can be it can carry with you a little bit. I wouldn't change a day of it though. I mean, it gave me such an amazing opportunity and the work ethic and the discipline required on that show as well. And you're thrown into the limelight, you're thrown into marketing elements, you're now a known sort of face to a degree, so your life changes. It's really strange. But I think Cloud Street for me, if I had to pinpoint something, was one of those defining elements after, to sort of stretch my acting chops a little. But you're always trying to grow in that regard, and you're only as good as your last couple of roles. Usually, people remember your last performances. So it's this constant battle. It never ends. You never stop growing. You never just plateau and be like, oh, I made it here and I'm good. You always want to keep progressing. So yeah, it never stops.
Well, mate, I'm going to tell you why you're successful. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. I've met a lot of people, and you are a nice guy. I can tell just talking to you now. You're not full of crap. You're a hard worker. You're not afraid to get out there and give it a go, and you're not an arsehole. So that's why I think you are successful.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
So there you have it from McKnight. There you go. And look, you're going to be, and I love this, you're going to be at Supernova Comic Con and Gaming in Sydney next weekend, the 19th and 20th of June. Who on the lineup are you most excited to see?
Well, it's funny. I am getting a full spectrum experience at Supernova. And honestly, I love cons. I'm a super nerd anyway. I do gamer streaming as well online on Twitch.
Where can we find you on Twitch? Because you told me that you do gaming. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so on Twitch, Achilles TJ. So ACHILLES TJ. That's my gamer tag.
Well, some of our viewers watch us on Twitch, so they will go and have a look, I'm sure.
Oh, great. Yeah, perfect. Chuck a follow in. I do streaming with Liam McIntyre, who played Spartacus in the series. And then we have we're linked in with a YouTube channel called Retro Replay. So Nolan North runs that. So we do streaming for them too.
And as you said, Supernova.
Yes, that's it. So we have I have, as I said, a full spectrum. I have Manu from Spartacus going.
Yes.
I have Liz Blackmore from Vampire Diaries, and I have Lincoln Lewis from Home and Away. So literally every stage of my career, there's going to be some of my closest friends. And honestly, that's what it's all about for us. We have such an epic time. We hang out the whole weekend. We get to meet fans of the show, reminisce on the show, do photos and panels and all this sort of stuff for everyone. And we honestly have a blast. So I'm really pumped they all opened up again and we could get back to the Supernovas again. And you find out which of your friends are going. You're like, oh, we get to hang out for the weekend again. And, because obviously you don't see some people for a year or two, depending on schedule. So, man, I can't wait to get down to Sydney. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, Lincoln Lewis was on the show a few weeks ago. Another great bloke. For information and tickets, head along to meet Todd. Just go to supernova.com.au. Todd, thank you for being on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show.
No, thank you for having me, man. It was an absolute pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Oh, pleasure. Hey, it's time for a hit of entertainment. Don't forget, in a moment, we'll be going down the rabbit hole with Bruno and Mary from Big Brother is still ahead. But Jason, he's got the entertainment background going. He's sprucing up.
I look like the purple wiggle.
The wiggle, you like John West. It's the ones they reject that make the wiggles the best.
Are you saying I was a rejected wiggle?
Okay, Jason. A big story in Australian Aussie drama because a Channel 9 show has come to an end.
Yeah, Dr. Doctor, it's finishing at the end of season 5, which is currently airing. Channel 9's head of drama, Andy Ryan, told TV Black Box, for 5 incredible seasons, Australia has shared in the journey of everybody's favourite bad boy doctor, Hugh Knight. But all journeys have a destination. We are thrilled to bring the story to a fitting climax in a way that honours the true characters and will surprise and delight the audience. It, of course, has been such a brilliant Aussie drama. And it is, of course, starring Roger Corso. And it's one of the few Aussie dramas that has been consistently delivering strong ratings. So it is a surprise and it's a sad day for local productions, but certainly it's been a fan favourite for a lot of Australians.
It certainly has. I don't know what that... Have you got a plane overhead, Jason?
No, it's me.
not.
Oh, it's Sarah. Well, you are out in the elements. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, and I live underneath the airport, and there's a naval air station next door, so we should see some F-14s soon.
Oh, that'll be fun. Well, at least
cool.
we know. At least we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I hear Sam Armitage might be making a comeback to television.
Yeah, this to me is a huge surprise. She spoke with Carl Sandilands on her podcast, Something to Talk About, at whether she would be coming back to TV. And this is what she had to say.
Well, I'm
10
semi
years and they left.
I'm semi-retired.
Yeah, but you found a man. We know you got married. You wanted a change of life. You'd done your thing.
Yeah, but I'll go again. I'll go again.
You will.
I'll just have a little
I
break.
know you'll be back on TV.
One of these days.
What are you going to do on the Today Show? What, you got any plans? You got a desire?
No, I haven't got a desire. I've actually got no desire at the moment. I'm going to have a good break.
Yeah.
And I don't know, one of these days.
There was a bit of an awkward moment when she was asked whether she unfollowed her old castmates on Sunrise on Instagram. Now, she kind of skirted around it and she said no one really follows each other. But here is something very interesting, and I love this juicy gossip. She follows Sam Mack and Edwina Bartholomew, but not Koshi or Nat. So read what you will, but there's a bit of drama in the air.
Ooh, very, very interesting. It's like saying, well, I don't follow the people I know. People follow their partners on social media. You follow your friends, you follow the people you work with. I don't know if I'm buying that. Hey, Jason, a good friend of the show. We just heard him there with Samantha Armitage, but Carl Sandilands, he turned 50 today. Just exactly how did they celebrate on the Carl and Jackie O show?
You know what? I was thinking about this, and of course, they're going to go big. They're going to go amazing. It was a really fun show. Guy Sebastian performed, just a casual performance from Guy Sebastian. As you do. But perhaps the highlight, it was comedian Jim Jeffries roasting Kyle. Take a listen.
So to begin with, happy birthday to Kyle, 50 years old. I'd like to do your 60th, but I doubt we'll make it to that. I also had to read up about you before I did this. I never knew you were homeless.
Homeless.
Yes. Fucking hell, you couldn't be homeless anymore. You couldn't live in the gutter unless it was a fucking 4-lane highway. Imagine this fat showing up at a soup kitchen. Kyle, I found out that you've been the most hated celebrity in Australia 6 times. 6 times.
Yeah.
And that's twice after Rolf Harris was convicted of being a pedophile. Imagine losing popularity contests to a guy who dates younger women than you do. Some people have called you a sugar daddy, but with your size, it should be a diabetes daddy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
You know what I love about Carl? He can at least take the piss out of himself. Yeah. He doesn't take life too seriously. We need more people like Carl where he can just laugh at himself and be roasted. I want to be roasted one day.
All right. Besides being the rejected wiggle, no.
So I hear our very own Rob spoke to Michael Pell last week, and it made some headlines.
Yeah, that's right. Sarah, Michael Pell, of course, the executive producer of Sunrise, he spoke to Rob on the McKnight Tonight podcast. He spilled the beans on all the things behind the scenes, spoke about the rivalry with Today, but it was the secrets of the cash cow that made the headlines. Now, here's Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie talking about it on Nova in Melbourne.
Here is a headline that you've been waiting for your whole life, but you didn't realise. Sex secrets of the Sunrise cash cow. 7 executive reveals the breakfast mascot has a very dirty side.
Hot.
So maybe the cash cow is related to Pluck a Duck somehow.
Bit handsy.
Michael Pell has told McKnight Tonight, which is a podcast, that one of the staffers tasked with wearing the suit had a habit of whispering dirty things to the hosts in order to distract them.
Why don't you come back from the break, right, and they cut to the cash cow, but he didn't know he was going to be on, and he's there with a gimp mascot.
Yes.
Or of course, you know, the old favourite, the red snooker ball in the cash cow's mouth. They're all fine. They're all good.
I wonder if
trying to whisper to Koshy.
They do work.
Sweet nothings.
And do you think all the sexual assault complaints will be he's just very hoofy? Get it, handsy? Hoofy?
Yeah, I'm there now.
Check out my 4 tits.
Good
Hilarious.
We discussed this on the Black Box on Monday, and I told you that was going to get picked up because there's no way the cash cow whispering sweet nothings into people's ear is not going to get picked up by the news.
You did. It was the Daily Mail that the Daily Mail did a couple of stories out of that interview, and that was one element they picked up on. I love the Daily Mail. I'm good friends with a lot of the people there, and they picked up on that story, and I loved it. The sex secrets of the cash cow revealed. What a headline! So good, so good.
Rob loves it when he's on the Daily Mail. He just loves a good article on the Daily Mail.
I do. Hey, Jason Roses, the man who made a meal out of Married at First Sight from his 32nd appearance.
Rob, it wasn't a meal. It was like a 3-course buffet. But yes, I certainly
Hey, I would have done exactly the same thing. Just saying. But we all love a bit of media coverage. You know, it's just that. You know, anyway, the Daily Mail's very nice to me. I love the Daily Mail. Will not have a bad word said about it. Hey, Jason, before we move on from entertainment, there are some more cast members returning to the Sex and the City reboot.
Well, yes, we obviously know that Kim Cattrall will not be returning as Samantha, but the other 3 will be. It will also be announced, it was announced last week that Chris Noth will be reprising his role as Mr. Big. I wonder why he's called Mr. Big. And now 4 more reoccurring characters have confirmed to be returning. Oh. So David Edenberg, who played Steve Brady, Miranda's husband, will be back, as will Evan Handler, who was Harry Goldenblatt, Charlotte's husband, and Kerry's best friend Stanford, played by Willie Garson, is returning. So, you know what? It's an event planner, Anthony Marantino, played by Mario Cantoni. My God, I've got some names there to pronounce. But, of course, it's big news for Sex and the City fans who will be very excited to hear that, you know, it's going to be an ensemble cast of all the original members, except for
one.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Why? I feel sad she's not coming back. Like, she's the missing piece. Like, they all needed to be there. It's going to feel strange and weird.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Why bother?
I think I'm the only woman that didn't really watch that show.
I didn't either.
Yeah, well,
You're a woman?
You're not a woman, Rob, or are you?
He identifies as one. It's fine. I don't judge.
Jason, fabulous job. Amanda, can you run your magic and put him back to his Canberra background? Watch this. Here we go. Hey!
Gotta love television.
This one over here, she knows how to push all the right buttons. All right, we will be having Bruno in a second. Thank you, Jason. But first, she was put up as a safe vote. She was put up by I'm going to start that again. Jason, you've got me all funny. Well, she was put up as a safe vote by one of the closest allies, but as we all know, no one is ever safe in the Big Brothers game, and Mafia Mum Mary was evicted. Have a look.
Mary, you received 5 votes, which means, Mary, you have been evicted.
Darling, say it soon. Just a game, darling. Just a game.
Oh, yes. See you, Charlotte. Thank you, Molly.
Oh, damn it. We'll have to do a pickup. Sorry,
Okay.
I just got a chill. Mary, welcome to the Ange Rob and Robbo show.
Hi, guys. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, Mary, a pleasure. I've been wanting to speak to you. You were pretty cold to Marley there. You were pretty angry when you left. The whole safe vote plan fell through a few times this season. Do you think that's a fair reason to nominate someone?
You know what? Once you're on the chair, you're a target because you're a sitting target because you don't know who deep down wants to get you out. So when you're on there, people can conspire together and, you know, form a little pack and just clean you up. Easy. Poof.
You really were angry. You didn't hug Marley. Can you forgive him?
I was angry. Sorry. I'll let you finish.
No, that's all right. Can you forgive him?
Oh, I forgave him straight away because it is a game and, you know, Marley is such a beautiful, loyal boy, a lot of integrity. So when he shakes his hand with someone, he honours that. It doesn't matter who it is. That's who he is as a person. And he, you know, he didn't think I was going to go. He thought, well, if I put Charlotte, she'll be eaten alive. So I'll put Mary because she's probably going to be the safest. But you know what? You can't trust. You know, I made it to the top 10 twice. I mean, what more can an old bird want, hey?
But you seem to know. The moment you were up there, you were ropeable because you knew this could all go to crap, basically, because they can take a shot at me.
Oh, 100%. The funny thing is, Rob, the night before I packed my bags because, you know, at my age, at 56, you do listen to your gut. You know, you stop listening to the mind and the heart. And I already packed my things because my gut was telling me you're going home tomorrow, Mary. And, and it's exactly what happened. And there's a scene when Big Brother says, sit on the couch, and he's calling out the names. And then when he calls out the last name, I say, Mary. And they didn't show it because I already said it that I was going. And you know, I wasn't expecting it from Marley because I would never put one of my people up. It's different if I'm sitting amongst, you know, say Jessie and SJ. I have to pick one. It's so hard, and that was devastating for me because I didn't want to go against my alliance, but it is dog eat dog in the end as it's getting closer.
It is, and let's talk about your friendship with SJ. You brought her up. You aligned with her very early on. You were in the attic together. You seemed inseparable. But let's have a look at what happened when you were forced to choose, as you mentioned, between SJ and Marley.
You and I together have got so much more we can be showing the world. It's because, you know, people do want Marley going home. The whole reason.
You think they don't want you and I next? I don't know if I can save you again.
I know I'm not finished in here, and I would love to think that you're with me.
I don't know, dolls.
What I did appreciate there was your honesty. You told her, I've saved you in the past. I don't know that I can do it again.
Yeah, I'd saved her 6 times previously, and had she not gone with Danny, I might have saved her again, but, that's when we kissed. Had she not... The thing is, there was a scene, again, that they didn't show you, that we were by the pool, SJ, Danny and I, and SJ was pleading with me saying, come with Danny, you know, and he'll take us to the end. and Danny gave me his hand to shake, and I remember walking away and I said, I prefer to go home than abandon my people when they need me the most. And so I didn't shake and I went home.
Do you wish you'd shake in his hand now?
No.
I do like that about you. We called you the Mafia Mum. Do you think that's a fair statement? You did have a level of you were like the Godfather at times in that house.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't show me enough, but there was a lot of times that the reason why I was called the Mafia Mob Mum was because I always protected the young kids because there's so many big personalities in there, and these young people like Tilly, even Christina, Charlotte from Brisbane, they sort of get lost in there. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard even for someone like me.
Oh, absolutely. I want to also ask you about the fact that you voted against SJ and you were open about that. But when she became head of house and was choosing her second in command, you seemed a bit shocked that she didn't choose you.
No, I wasn't expecting her to choose me because I know SJ, and if you look back when I'm in the diary room, I said to Big Brother, she is revengeful. See, I'm not that person to be revengeful. I would stick with my people. Yep, you did choose, but she should have understood that I only chose Marley because I'm cornered again. Like I say to Big Brother, it's your left or your right hand. Pick one that you're going to chop off because it's hard. But I knew she was going to gun for me, and SJ. Yeah, so I was just waiting for it, really.
Now, interesting, you're sort of like a reality TV family. Your daughter Martha was on Married at First Sight. Did she have any tips for you? Did she say don't do it, or she was like, Mum, get out there, give it a go?
Well, to be honest, I didn't want to do reality. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in fame or followers. It doesn't change who I am. But my girls actually wanted me to go on. I did not apply. So I had the Skype interview, and then when they said to me, oh, we would love to have you on the show, I thought, I don't know if I want to go on. Like, my life is so simple. Do I want to disrupt it? But my daughters both said to me, Mum, you're 56. You're always whinging. You haven't done anything for yourself. This is your chance, girl. Go out and do it.
I like that. Well, we are getting down to the pointy end of the competition, and Big Brother continues Monday through Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on 7. And I've seen the first couple of episodes of next week, Mary. Wowzers. It's huge.
I know. I can imagine. Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch. I've already got
lots of twists and turns.
Sorry?
Lots of twists and turns.
More. Big Brother killing us this season.
Absolutely. Mary, thank you so much for being on the Ange, Rob and Robbo show. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, Rob, for taking the time to have a chat with me. Bless.
Okay, now it's time to go down the rabbit hole with our good friend Bruno Boucher. Bruno, come on in.
Sorry. I'm prepared.
I just heard a big F word.
Yeah, sorry about that. Jeez, no, I was just sorry, and I had been drinking all day, and I was just in my own little world of having a snack of just Vita Weeds with jam and butter, enjoying the Big Brother chat. Sorry, how's it all going? You guys well?
Good. Sorry to disturb. See, we have cameras all through Bruno's house, and when we want to see him, we literally just turn them on, and sometimes I forget to tell him that we're going to turn them on. So sorry, Bruno.
Oh, no, it's all good. Talking about going down the rabbit hole, I was going down the rabbit hole today looking at YouTube videos of animals farting, because I kind of thought to myself, geez, do they fart just like us, or is it a different sound, or like whatever? And before I knew it, I'd spent 2 or 3 hours kind of going through them. And I thought, geez, I could bring a very cool game to the show where I pixelate the animal in question that's farting, and you guys hear it, and you tell me which animal it is. Can you guess the animal that's farting? So I put together these little game show cards for me.
The animal fart game.
Well, what do you reckon? Should we start off with the first
crickets?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Number one.
Let's do it.
Well, could you play it again, please,
pig.
Amanda?
No, that to me is a lion.
Guys,
Sarah, did you know?
I'm going to give you.
It sounds like it's underwater, like a manatee.
That's very good. I'm going to start giving you guys some clues. Just think through it.
Okay.
So, scientists describe my mating habits as highly promiscuous. During sex, I bob my head furiously, bite down on the female's neck, and occasionally change colour. It is not a dolphin, but that's a very good thought.
A turtle.
Change colour. An iguana?
Close.
No. Chameleon.
Who said iguana? You did. You win. It's an iguana. It is the unpixelated clip.
I knew it was underwater because I live on a boat and we have things that fart underwater all the time, and I distinctly know that.
Oh my
sound.
God.
Fascinating animal, isn't it, the iguana? Because my next fact was going to be a female can store sperm from previous mates for several years to continue to fertilise her eggs in case she can't find a proper mate. Fascinating.
I wish I had.
They're also apparently delicious.
Any woman who is on that sugar daddy's website.
Guys, should we move on to animal number 2?
Yes.
I really like that. Porcupine.
You wanna watch it again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pig.
This is awful.
Guys, let me give you a few clues, and it's not a pig. For males, my penis is known to be impressively sizable. My poo is useful to humans, and this is my personal opinion here.
Ding, ding, ding. A horse.
Rob? It's a horse. Congratulations. Can we see the full clip?
Where did you get this footage from?
This is revolting.
I love this. This is the best segment ever.
No, we're talking about animal penis sizes and farting.
I'm just worried my mascara is going to start running down my face.
Guys, animal number 3. Let's have a look at animal number 3, shall we?
I love the pixelation. I mean, it's like what?
Guys, let me commence with my clues. During mating season, the male will chase down the female for several days, often violently fighting off other males. My poos look like cute little Kalamata olives thanks to my 4-chambered stomach. Apart from dogs and cats, there aren't... Oh, sorry?
A deer?
It is a deer. Look at you. You got yourself 2 points. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, these Americans, they know things.
They're very smart.
I am Australian-ish. You know.
You have the accent. You are now officially American in my eyes.
I understand why you guys are a world power, because, you know, the fact that you're able to pick up on these flatulent sounds so well, it's like, yeah, I get it. It all makes sense.
So, sorry, Bruno,
well, we have deer at my mother-in-law's house.
No, that's a great excuse. Your mother-in-law lets one rip and says, it's the deer. Bruno, can we just do a score check? I believe Sarah's got 2, I've got 1, and Jason's got none.
We've got none, and we've got 2 more left. So,
all right,
let's see how we go, guys. Animal number 4 is the clip.
It sounded like a zip.
Is it Carl Sanderland?
Close. Now listen, you think my fart was loud? Wait till you hear this. I can make a sound using my mouth that can be heard up to 8 kilometres away. I'm quite a farty animal due to the fact that I need to eat up to 7 kilograms of meat a day. A lot of meth addicts in the United States have me as pets. What's that?
A tiger.
It's a lion, but I'll accept it.
He actually said lion to begin with.
Yeah,
I
said lion to begin with.
Should we watch the full clip?
Yeah.
Nothing beats the horse.
The horse is so good, isn't it?
Why does it sound like there's a woman moaning in there, though?
I guess that's perhaps the effect that aligned farting has on women. I suppose. No, guys, we're up to our last one. I mean, this has been such a fun journey, but this is it. It does sound like a lawnmower or a whippersnapper. Let me give you some clues. Guys, you think my farts are brutal? I'm also the world's deadliest animal. Mating occurs in the water with the female submerged for most of the encounter. I'm one of the rare animals who secretes their...
Shark.
Yes.
No. Hippopotamus.
Orca.
It's a hippopotamus. Congratulations. Isn't that amazing?
So was that a fart or a poo? That was follow through.
Shit out.
Well, I guess you could argue that technically that wasn't a fart, it was a poo. But, I mean, look, I don't want to drag this show down, but you kind of need one to do the other. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yes, true. So, yeah, I didn't want to be that guy, but I just thought I'd be the voice of reason on this.
Can we have a look at the horse again?
The horse.
No.
Hey, Bruno. You were with the man today, Carl Sanderlands. How was the actual 50th? I know the party's this weekend. Didn't get that invite. But I'm not bitter. How was the day with him today, mate?
Yeah, it was good fun. We just spent a lot of time on his couch just watching 90 Day Fiancé and just talking crap. And then I think he left at about his place at about 2:00 to get a facial, and that's when I last saw him. So
well,
I think it was a nice
spent,
birthday.
Kyle.
We had a little Rolls-Royce birthday cake. It was very fancy.
Oh, lovely. But the big party's this weekend, isn't it? So really, what can guests that are going expect?
Oh, God. So there are two parties. The first one is the one that's a little bit more PG. And then the second one is like no phones allowed, NDAs to be signed, etc., etc., if you get my drift.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not getting invited to that one for sure.
Someone's going to collect the NDA, so that'll be my job.
I know Carl doesn't know me that well, but I thought Bruno would hook me up.
Oh, I'd be happy for you to be my plus one. My wife's told me that she's definitely not coming to the rowdy party, so if you want to link up to this arm, I'm sure.
Bruno, I'm on my way down. Oh, mate, we love having you on each and every week. We never know where you're going to go. I did not know that a farting horse was the clip I needed to see tonight.
It's the best. It's amazing. God bless.
Mate, we'll see you next week. Have fun this weekend.
See you guys. Love you.
Bye, Bruno.
Bye-bye. I love that, man. And that brings us to the end of tonight's edition of the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show. Jason Roses, well done to you, my friend.
Thank you. It's been a fun show. And no one's commented on my purple jumper. Oh, no,
it's lovely.
Because...
It's lovely.
Thank you.
No, Jason, because there is we were all taught, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Whereas I thought we nicely bookended you because we're both in, like, mine's more blue than purple, but it's a nice little, and there's my dog. He's so cute.
Well, while we're at it, Rob, I don't know about your off-green cream jacket thing you're wearing. I'd throw it in the bin.
I think it's lovely.
Your wish is my command. All right, Sarah, thank you so much. We love it when you fill in for Ange, and you got a late call up today, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. See you all next week.
Possibly. In fairness, Angie is very ill, but thank you, Sarah. We love you. We love you both. See you next week. It's good night from the Ange, Rob and Robbo Show.
See Ange, Rob and Robbo. the Rob Ocean.